Hey there, are you ready for another epic adventure this week? Perfect. Today we're going to be hearing a Bible story about men who created a stack of 12 stones. And we're going to make our own stack, okay? But today I'm using cups. Now you can use blocks or whatever you have on hand, but I have 12 of them. So you gotta have 12, and I have cups, okay? And I'm going to stack them up as fast as I can. You ready? Let's see how fast I can do it. Whew, that was fast. Why don't you give it a try and let me see how you do on our parents page. Give me a video and let me see how it goes. But before you do that, let's get started with our lesson, right? First up is our big idea. And it's this. I can remember what God has done for us. Now can you shout that out real loud? I can remember what God has done for us! Awesome job. Let's watch our story video.
Hey kids, are you ready for another epic true story? Buckle up, because here we go. Joshua was the leader of the Israelites, and God was going to use him to lead God's people into the Promised Land, a special place God wanted the Israelites to live. But to get there, they had to cross the Jordan River. It was the only thing standing in their way. But getting across the Jordan wasn't a simple swim across a pool. And even that can be scary sometimes. No, this was deep flowing water, and at the time of year, it was higher than normal. There was no way they could just walk across. Or could they? Among the Israelites, there were priests who carried something called the Ark of the Covenant in front of the people. This was a special and holy object that God wanted the Israelites to treat very carefully. God told the priests to carry the Ark of the Covenant into the river. As soon as the priest stepped into the water, it stopped flowing. The priest stood on dry ground as all the Israelites crossed to the other side. Once everyone had crossed and the priest stepped onto land, the water began to flow again. This was no ordinary walk. This was a big deal. So Joshua told 12 men to gather 12 rocks and built a tower. When the people asked what the rocks were for, Joshua explained that he wanted other generations to know what God had done for the Israelites. When they should have been stopped or destroyed, God helped them. Joshua wanted everyone to remember what God had done, so he built a monument. And just like Joshua and the Israelites, I can remember what God has done for me too.
During the time of Joshua, he was in charge, and the Ark of the Covenant was the most important thing in the life of the Israelites. The Ark was the symbol of God's promises to take care of the Israelites and to lead them into the Promised Land. It contained 2 stone tablets, or the 10 Commandments. They were written on those tablets. So now our story takes place on the Jordan River, and Joshua was leading the nation of Israel as they were carrying the Ark of the Covenant. God was speaking with Joshua, told them the next day that he would take the Israelites into the nation and that God would defeat their enemies. And God told Joshua to choose a leader from each of the tribes, the 12 of them, and that those 12 men were going to have a special job when they crossed the river. And God said to Joshua that when they stepped into the river, that the river would stop flowing when the ark got in the water. And you know what? When the men holding the ark stepped into the river, it happened. Just like God said, the river stopped moving. And the 12 men that Joshua chose were told to each go in and pick up a rock from the riverbed. Each of those men went to the river where the ark was, and they picked up a stone, just like the ones I'm messing with now. And they brought the stones back to where they were camping. And Joshua and those 12 men stacked all the stones to create something to remember what God had done for them when they passed through the Jordan River. Now Joshua went back into the river and created another stack of stones inside the river where the ground was dry. And those stones are still there today to remind everyone that God is faithful to allow the Israelites safe passage through the river. God then commanded Joshua to tell the men carrying the ark to take it up high on the ground above where the river was, and to place it down, and then the river began flowing again. Finally, God did this to remind the Israelites that God keeps his promises. God keeps his promises better than I can build a stack of rocks. But you know what? We can remember what God has done for us.
Let not your hearts be troubled. Believe in God, believe also in me. Whoa, also in me. Let not your hearts be troubled. Believe in God, believe also in me. Whoa, also in me. In my Father's house, how many rooms? If it were not so, would I have told you that I go to prepare a place for you? Yeah, yeah. In my Father's house, how many rooms? If it were not so, would I have told you that I go to prepare a place for you? Yeah, yeah. My Father's house. My Father's house. Yeah. My Father's house. My Father's house. My Father's house. Let not your hearts be troubled. Believe in God, believe also in me. Oh, also in me. Come on now. Yeah. In my Father's house, how many rooms? If it were not so, would I have told you that I go to prepare a place for you? Yeah, yeah. In my Father's house, how many rooms? If it were not so, would I have told you that I go to prepare a place for you? Yeah, yeah. My Father's house. 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 Yeah, yeah.
In my Father's house, how many rooms? If it were not so, would I have told you that I go to prepare a place for you?
Yeah, yeah. My Father's house. My Father's house. My Father's house. My Father's house. My Father's house.
Well, it's been real fun going on today's epic adventure, and I can't wait to see what happens next. Bye, guys!